You're on your last step of your research paper. We're going to format and do some last-minute editing. First, you need to space your entire document double-spaced, even your works cited. You never need to add additional spacing. I'll show you what I mean. Make sure you have your document in Google Drive. Once you have it here, you'll notice my paper is all single-spaced. A lot of students want to put spaces between paragraphs like this, but you don't need them. Make sure everything is all single-spaced throughout the entire paper. Then you're going to select everything. Go up here to this little line. When you highlight it, it says line spacing, and pull down to 2.0. Now your paper is double-spaced. Do the same thing in your works cited page, and you'll know your spacing is correct. Now moving on to the next formatting step, indentation. Indent for each new paragraph. All you have to do is press Tab. So if we go back to our paper, my first document or first paragraph, I click Tab and I'm indented. Because you have the indentations, you don't need the extra space. Remember, when you do your works cited, you should have opposite indentation. So you'll have your last name and then you'll have all of your information. And then on your second line, you're going to have to press Enter and Tab. So it will look like this. Most paragraphs we indent with the first line in and all the other ones out. In the works cited, it's the opposite. Once you've gone through your paragraphs and made sure that everything is indented correctly, you can move on to the next step. And I'm just doing that now. Headings. At the top of your page, you need to have your name, your class, your teacher's name, and the date. This will also be double-spaced. So make sure that your cursor is all the way over here. Sometimes students have been getting them stuck here and it's making an error. You probably have to press Delete. I'm going to type in my name, my teacher, or my class, my teacher, Miss Matsky, and the date. Today is April 10th, 2013. Now my heading is complete. Next, we have our header. Now this is different from the heading. In the header, you have your last name and page number. So we go back. You're going to click Insert, go to Header, then you're going to go up here on the right side and type Insert at the top of the page. Now you'll have a page number at every single page and they'll be numbered correctly. If you type in the number 1, it'll say 1 on every sheet. Once you have it in, move your cursor to the other side of the 1 and add your last name and a space. Now my heading is complete and it will show up on every continuous page. Next, the title. You need a creative title. The words research paper should never appear in your title. Your title should be centered and all major words should be capitalized. So after my heading, I press Enter, I go to my alignment, center align, and I type in my title. My title will be New Fashion Hits Wayzata. Hopefully that gets the reader interested in reading more. Notice that my N, F, H, and W are all capitalized. I don't need any bold, I don't need underline. Because it's centered and at the top of the page, the reader knows it is the title. Now you're done with the title. Your works cited. This is where it can get a little tricky. You need to have a works cited on its own page. So if we go back, you'll make sure, I'll show you how to do that. You need a title on your works cited page as well. It should be works cited, centered with the letters W and C capitalized. You do not need any underlining, you do not need any bolding, no different changing in font. It should be just like the title of your other paper. Use opposite indents and make sure your citations match clearly with your works cited. So if you have Smith in your paper, then Smith should be the first thing in your works cited page. So if we go back to our Google document, the end of your paper, if you have your finishing paper and then you have your works cited, right here, see where my cursor is? You're going to go up to Insert, Page Break. And that's going to start a whole new page for you. So once you've copied and pasted in your works cited from EasyBib, you do Insert Page Break, you type works cited here, for the title of your page, center align it, and then you have your works cited begin. Notice that it's still numbered and it's still a part of my original document. Then make sure you have those indents correct and that you double space. Everything should be spaced exactly the same throughout. So the same space between title, same space between each line, and same space between your next EasyBib. Final proofing. Before you print your paper, please read your paper one more time. Check for small errors and wording issues. The most common errors with citations have been that some people are missing citations. Make sure you use quotation marks around any words that are not yours. If you use an article title in your citation, put it in quotation marks. For example, if I say, according to Ms. Matsky, Ms. Austin is really smart, and that came from an article called Teachers at Central, I need to have these little quotation marks around the title so that the reader knows this is the title of an article. Notice that the period is at the end, and that we only have a quotation, and you shouldn't really have any punctuation here between the end of the quote. You don't need a comma or a period or anything. The end punctuation comes right here. And then make sure that your citations match in your works cited. Then make sure you look through it one more time, and then you can print from Google Drive. People have been having trouble printing from Google Drive, so make sure you do it correctly. Download from Word and then print from the Word document. When you go to a PDF, sometimes we run into trouble, particularly in the Media Center. So if I go back to Google Drive, scroll up to the top, go to File, Download as, Microsoft Word. It will download your document into Word and you will have it available to print and be finished. Yay! You finished the paper.